So welcome to the ChartMill YouTube channel. In this tutorial, I'll show you my typical basic workflow that I apply during the weekends. I'm a typical trend investor, so this approach allows me to have my orders ready for the start of the new trading week. As you will see, my workflow is pretty straightforward and it takes very little time. But for me personally, it is the most efficient way to find the best candidates, and ChartMill is a tremendous help. So let's get started. First thing I'll do is check the ChartMill Analyzer by clicking on this tool, the Analyzer tab. Now, for those of you who don't know ChartMill, the Analyzer tool is a very impressive tool because the software itself suggests some very nice trading opportunities on a fundamental or on a technical base. So I just click it. So basically, we have the technical breakout setups. There are some other options to the left and to the right. So these are more fundamentally based, and the last option, strong growth stock technical setups, it's a combination of fundamental and technical features. But for this purpose, for this tutorial, we only select the technical breakout setups. So ChartMill itself suggest some companies with very high technical and setup ratings, as you can see over here. So for this tutorial, I will select the US market only. I won't change the other basic filters like minimum volume and minimum price. For example, the first ticker, Urendai Limited, it has a technical rating 8 out of 10 and a setup rating of 10 out of 10. We have the weekly chart, we have the daily chart, and it's quite logical why this ticker has such high ratings if we check the daily chart. As you can see, the company and the price chart has an impressive positive trend. So the technical rating has 8 out of 10 and it has a high setup rating of 10 out of 10. You can see there is some resistance over here. Price was retracing to the trend line and now it is back up, and price is very near this resistance level. So once this level is broken, it is a very nice opportunity to go long. And the first stop loss, it can be placed just below this swing low point, or even a little bit more aggressive below this candle. So that is why it has such an impressive high technical and setup rating. I will go back, because if you have some good technical trading candidates, you can even check some fundamental ratings. For example, for Urendai, we have a very decent fundamental rating of 7 out of 10. Excellent growth, excellent profitability, decent health. Only the valuation has only 5 out of 10, which is enough. So you can read some more information below these valuation ratings. If we check some other tickers, for example, microchip technology, technical rating 10 out of 10, setup rating 10 out of 10, so very impressive numbers. And also for this ticker, if we check the chart, same story, very impressive positive trend and a very nice setup to go long if this resistance level is broken. So next thing to do, if we have some candidates, if you have selected some candidates, you will want to save them in your personal stock list. So if you check the chart, you check this box, add to watch list, and then you go to the settings icon, and you can add this selection to an already predefined list, or as we will do in this tutorial, you can create a new watch list. Just click on it, you give it a name, for example, US watch list breakout setups. Okay, so it is created successfully, but the list is still empty. That's very important. So we click on it, and now we can select the list, US watch list breakout setups, and the list is updated successfully. So we go back, we have, for example, the first ticker, YRD. That was also a very nice opportunity. So you go to the chart, check the box, settings icon, watch list, US watch list breakout setups, updated successfully. Now, if we go to our personal account, my account, you scroll down to my watch lists and you select the watch list you've just made. So US watch list breakout setups. You will see those two tickers in this list. You can open the watch list, and then you'll have the two companies on a daily chart on your screen. Next, we will determine our setup, our entry price and stop loss price for the two tickers we have selected. So to do so, we will use the built-in position sizing tool. But first things first, we are going to change the view. We click on best fit and we select 3 months. I'm going to reload the chart. So now we have a clearer view of the recent price movement. We are going to launch the annotation tool by clicking on this little symbol. Then we get this toolbar. We will use the magnifying glass. And now we can check the recent prices. So in the case of Urendai, we have this candle with the highest price on the 19th of September with a highest price of $45.91. If I scroll down for microchip technology, the 19th September, a high price of 91.83, but also very recent, 5 October, 91.82. That's almost a perfect double top. So to visualize those resistant levels, I will use the horizontal support and resistance line in like that. Once we are in the chart, we click once and then we can move this horizontal line, 45.91. Microchip, 91.83. So now those resistance levels both for Urendai and microchip are visualized on the chart. Next thing is actually our position sizing tool. We use this little eye icon, launch the position sizing tool. I will replace it to the left. Once you just click in the chart, for example, YRD, and then the symbol is mentioned in this ticker box. The entry price you can see over here is always the highest price of the last candle. So you can check this out by if I select this last candle, indeed it's 45.68, and that's the price which is filled in this entry price box. Now, as a trend investor, I don't want an entry at 45.68. I only want an entry if price breaks this resistance line, so above the high price of 45.91, and even above 46 because it's a round number. It's very simple. I just change the value here at 46.03, for example. So my entry price is entered. Now I have to determine my stop loss, the exit price. There are several ways to do so. I can use this swing low, or I can use this green trend line, which is currently at 42.51. Or if I want to place a stop very aggressively, I can you place it just below the last candle. So I will give it a try. Just below the last candle is the low was 44.01. So let's suggest 43.92. The capital is automatically set at $50,000. You can change it if you want to for example, 25,000. Risk percentage is 1%. The commission, you can choose any number you want. Percentage tax, if applicable. For this example, I will set it at 0. These are all checkboxes. So ChartMill is checking some features, and we get a red warning signal for the stop distance. So ChartMill is telling us that our stop distance is too little. It's at $2.11, and the average true range is $2.15. So the stop distance is less than one average true range value. So for those of you who don't know what the average true range is, it is a measure of volatility, and it tells us how much a stock moves in a day over a certain period of time. So placing your stop loss at minimum 2 or 3 times the average true range measurement, it reduces the chance of being unnecessarily stopped out due to normal price behavior. So an average true range in this case for the ticker YRD is $2.15. So that is a normal price fluctuation. So if my stop loss is less than one average true range, the chance of being stopped out is very likely. So I will reduce my stop loss to, for example, 41. I will give, so the low of the swing low is 41.54, so 41.48. And as you can see, now my stop distance is bigger than 2 times the average true range, and I get a green box. If you want to know more about the position sizing tool, because there are some other very nice features, you can do so on ChartMill, ticking the documentation tab, tools, and then you have the position sizing tool, and there you can read some more valuable information. It is a very handy tool for your own risk and position sizing management. So back to our charts. So we have determined our entry and stop loss level for Urendi, and we can do the same for microchip. Just click once in the chart and the ticker is visual in this ticker box. Again, the entry price is set automatically at 91.59. That's the highest price of the last candle. But we know that the highest price of this price range is 91.83. So I will set my entry level at 92.04, for example. Stop loss, I will give it a try below 90. So for example, 89.14, that's still a little bit too close to the entry level. Of course, you can overrule this warning signal. That's your own decision. But for this tutorial, I will try to fix this. So 88.60. And as you see, our stop distance, it's quite good. It's a little bit more than 2 times the average true range. But we get another warning signal because we have a risk percentage of 1%. With this entry price and the exit price at 88.60, the position sizing tool is telling us that we should take care because the investment is more than 25%. So we should invest more than $6,360 and our total working capital is 25,000. So that's more than 25%, and in the case of an amount bigger than 25%, the PST tool will give us a warning signal that it is a little bit too high. So you can adjust this by, for example, 0.9 risk percentage. So the tool is telling us we can buy 61 shares and we have an investment of only 22%. And to compare, if I change it again to 1%, we could have bought 69 shares. So 0.95, we have almost 24% investment and 65 shares, and everything is green. So the first part of this video was made on the 9th of October before opening of the market. Today we are 12th October, the market is still closed, and we are going to take a look at how things are going with our 2 long setups. So as you can see, we have the latest candle here is the one of 6th October, that was Friday, the end of the previous trading week. Same goes for microchip, 6 October with a closing price of 91.55, and for Erendi it was a closing price the previous week of 54.6. So a brief reminder, this was the situation at the end of the previous trading week. And on this chart I quickly drew the entry setups and stop loss levels of both tickers. So this was our setup day, Friday, 6th October. Our entry level is over here. So as we can see, prices went higher. The price broke our resistance levels and hitting our entry level. The initial stop loss just below this swing low. And for microchip, Tuesday, our entry price level was triggered, and our initial stop loss is still just below this green trend line. So for myself, I am a typical long-term trend trader, so I won't change the initial stop loss already. But for those of you who are more short-term swing traders, you could already raise stop loss just below, for example, just below the candle of 6th October. The low was 44, so just below 44. My typical risk percentage is 1%. So if price is hitting my initial stop loss, that would mean I will lose 1% of my trading account. So raising the stop loss, that would mean that my initial stop loss would be reduced to about 0.5%, which is very nice, very low risk percentage. And if this goes even further, it will be a very nice entry. So this is my personal approach to trading stocks. You've seen my basic workflow in ChartMill. And at the moment I have a number of long positions running. And the nice thing about ChartMill is that I can easily expand the number of long positions in a very short term. The only thing I really need is the analyzer tool. So ChartMill presents me with new low risk setups every day. I choose one or more of them manually. I determine the entry and exit, and I place the orders in my trading platform. That's all. If you want to use ChartMill for yourself but you don't have an account yet, just click on the register button in the top right corner of the home screen. Fill in the form and you'll be up and running in no time. Nice to know the basic but full usage of ChartMill. It is completely free. Each month as a registered ChartMill user, you will receive 6,000 credits for free. And these credits never expire, so you can determine how and when you'll spend them. But if you are a more regular user, then you can choose a monthly or a yearly subscription plan, or you can even choose to buy some individual credits. So this concludes this tutorial video about my basic workflow in ChartMill and about my approach to trend trading. Trade safe, and I'll hear you soon on a next tutorial.